Guess and we are live.
And we're live.
And we were chatting before. We were just having a of a time
We have a little folderol.
behind the scenes. And I'm going to say possibly in the future we're going to be filming before and after.
Before and after, so the before becomes the after, and that it's all one.
The show is the before and the after.
That's right. That's right.
And what is the show called? Oh, thank you for asking.
I'll
My
do it.
turn. You
My
had your
turn.
turn last week.
Mother and son making sense out of nonsense.
Plus more. And then I was thinking of a fun way to say it. Mother and son making sense out of nonsense. Plus more.
Are you implying that that wasn't fun the way I said it?
No, there was no inflammation at all. It wasn't funny.
No, it wasn't funny.
No.
All right, so we'll looking forward to seeing how you say it next week.
I just did.
Well, then I'll say it next week.
Okay, again. Oh. Word of the day. I'm going to let you start.
I'll start. I think you're going to really like this one. It's befuddle.
Befuddled. Befuddled. Keep going.
Befuddle.
Befuddle, Befuddle, and it's to make someone unable to think clearly. The logic used to arrive at this conclusion befuddled me.
Not easy. I mean, not hard to do.
And I won't take that personally. And you're not wrong. And I have been befuddled by you my whole life.
Oh, what a contemporaneous place to be.
Oh, does that happen to be the word of the day?
I like that word befuddled. It's something easy. It's something fun. It's something that I can understand and possibly remember.
Yes, that's why I chose it. And I like the word too.
Oh, good. Can we get off your word and on to another word? Can we keep the show moving?
Yes, please. It sounds like you already used your word.
Well, I have two words, but I'm going to...
Contemporaneous. Contemporaneous.
Contemporaneous.
Contemporaneous.
So we're practicing, especially with the live show, as to not talk at the same time. Contemporaneous means something happening simultaneously at the same time, existing, occurring, or originating during the same time.
Love it. Can I get the spelling, please?
Yes.
CONTEMPORANEOUS.
You are a genius, and it's not just because you're my son.
Contemporaneous.
Contemporaneous. Nice. Well, I should be entering in a spelling bee.
Well, you should be.
I should be, but I'm not. Lovely. I love that word, contemporaneous. Maybe we can hear your word later in the show, your second word.
Well, no, I'm going to tell it to you right now.
Oh, great. I'm thinking we should just change the show to just mother making sense out of nonsense. You can take out the and son part.
Well, I want to include you, even if it's just in a small way.
Gee, thanks.
You're welcome. The second word of the day is
odious. Odious.
Odious.
Odious. That sounds familiar. We might have had that before. It's okay. If you need a refresher, I won't be mad at it.
Odious.
Odious.
And that is an extremely unpleasant, repulsive person.
Oh. I know what that means. Unpleasant. That's a good word. Odious.
Yeah. What does it mean to be odious? Ooh, yeah. It's distasteful, just hateful. So, and I'm looking at myself. Odious, spelled Odious. And there were people in my life that I just despised, hated, didn't disliked for a variety of, listen to this, legitimate reasons. I justified all of my dislike and hate for others. And in fact, I would even say like and disdain and hate for people I didn't even know, just because they had a different mindset or a different political view, or whatever. They were different than me, and I just they were just odious.
They were odious. I have to agree with that. I can remember also creating reasons, legitimate reasons for having this mindset that someone is odious to me. And anybody, like you said, strangers, people on TV that I've never even had a conversation with. And I will say to myself as well, not all the time, but that disdain, that disgust of my own behaviors and my thoughts, whatever I'm doing, something I did in the past. Yes.
And in all of my hatred, I'm gonna use the word hatred. It's a powerful word. Was all justified.
Mhm.
And now I'm at this stage, 68. Don't tell anybody. 68 years old, and it is impossible for me to hate. I still I can say, oh, annoyed, but it's impossible. And when I say impossible, it is a reflection of growth. And I mean, no patting on my back, but the growth to the point where we're all one, huh? We're all one, what? And so embracing that has forced me, forced my ego to take a back seat and to be more accepting, and to know that it is just my one viewpoint, my one perspective of someone, and the ego is only going to give me one perspective.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that hatred for me too, that hate is it takes a while to even get there. It's so built up, it's so deep, it's so extreme. So yes, I am annoyed, dislike, grossed out, bothered, but to get to hatred really takes a lot of time and energy, focus on that. And I can just feel in my body something's going on with me if I'm really that annoyed and disgusted at someone else, which happens quite frequently. But I wouldn't say that I hate them. And if I do, I know something's going on with me. So it's already the story, it's got those red flags. My antennas are up.
And the awareness is the work. The awareness is the work. What
Mhm.
is what is would you like to do your topic, or?
You can start it.
Okay, I want to share what happened last week. I flew to California just for the day for Easter, and there's already and I'm going to talk about the programming, the deep-seated programming of not being around people, not just the crowd of people, just it's just a lot. So on the plane, I chose to sit in the exit row, and the exit row usually has more room. And on Southwest, you can choose your own seat. You're not assigned a seat. So there's this one woman, there's only two people in the row. She was sitting in the middle, and then I was sitting on the end. So I sat next to her, and she was a large woman. Large.
We don't have a word of the week other than large, an interesting synonym.
Very large. With large arms.
Oh, that's right.
Very
You were gonna tell me about this. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And contemporaneously speaking at the same time is just a no-no, but let's keep moving. Her arms were taking up, well, her arm on my side was taking up, it seemed like the entire armrest. which bothered me instantly, bothered my ego instantly. And so I took my little elbow, and I couldn't put it in front of her arm. I had to put it behind her arm. And I put my little elbow in, and I was inching my elbow in, and I was moving around, and what I was doing was resisting the moment. I was moving around, and within the intention of, because I was bothered, I wanted her to be bothered too. Whatever intention. I mean, there's a story, and I'm moving around, and I'm moving forward, and those arms of hers were locked in like a goddamn tree trunk, stuck solid, not even one budge, not a budge. And and then I just sat there and I said, okay, you're resisting. What can you do? I closed my eyes, and then the universe gave me this. Pretend that arm is Nathan's arm or our friend's arm. You wouldn't mind if you were touching Nathan's arm. If your arm was on Nathan's arm, you would have been cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to move my arm away from your arm. And so I sat with that, and it relieved a lot of, for about 5 minutes. Then I went back to, it was just that my ego had a grip. And then the universe gave me another analogy. I said, you feel how solid she's rooted in, not budging on that armrest? That's how we have you. That's how we are embracing you. That's how we not support. That's how we have you. We are holding on to you that tightly. We're not letting go of you that strongly, without budging, without a whimper, without a movement. That's how strong we have you. And that calmed me down for a little bit longer. And thank God it was a short plane ride. It was only 47 minutes. But that calmed me down too. My point is, when I'm in those moments of resistance and annoyance, when I'm aware of it, I can play a game and switch the perspective to loosen up my own energy.
What a great story and topic, and I'm so glad you started it off. That was a home run banger. I love the theme of when you said resisting the moment, and then playing a game, and you got two messages. I'll just share a similar story, and I was. Or should we just move on to you again?
No. Well, now that you're asking.
Anyways, so I was driving, and I was at a stop sign, so I'm ready to go whenever the opposing traffic or pedestrians are done. And there happened to be a littler, older than me lady crossing the street.
Could have been your mother.
Well, that's where I was getting at. Because she bothered me at first.
So did you push the gas pedal? Did you?
Believe me, if I could push the gas pedal and actually hit her, I would, and get away with it. And nothing against her. She seemed like a sweet little old lady. It just wasn't in my best interest to wait for her.
Makes sense to me.
Anyways. Nothing about her particularly bothered me. It just was the fact that I was waiting, and I was in a mood, whatever. I was in an impatient mood, and I had an expectation of what was going to happen at the stop sign. And I see her, I'm looking at her, the way she's crossing the street, she did have some urgency. She was using her arms, she was walking quickly, and she looked like she had a little pep in her step of some vibrancy. And then I started to soften as I looked at her, soften, and let her cross the street. Now, would I have been softened if it was you? I like to think so.
I know, let's be honest. Come on.
Let's
You've been wanting to hit me with your car for a
let's be
long
honest.
time.
It would have probably made it worse if it was you. No, no, what it was, and that is a good practice. And I do think of that with drivers. I never know who it is, and why would I? This is for me. This is for my peace. So I would be peaceful if it was you behind the wheel in front of me or crossing the street, but I wouldn't with another. What kind of sense does that make for my peace? Why not just be peaceful with everybody? And I love those because it's peaceful with self. I love those games that you played, the arm, and then that universe part. And I'll end with this, that analogy. That's how the universe has you, that sturdiness. We're not budging, that stability. What a interesting shift of perspectives to find peace.
I'll do whatever it takes. I'm searching, and the other thing I want to say, Nathan, is that's the practice. This being happy, content. It is an ongoing practice. I don't visualize myself mastering anything, just having more practice. And the question is, do I enjoy practicing? Do I enjoy the practice? And I'll tell you this, I enjoy the results of the practice. I enjoy that I can, for the most part, snap from one moment into the next without dragging yesterday in. But it is an ongoing practice for all of this stuff.
Now, I want to ask you what was that moment, if you can remember or recall either how you felt, the words going through your head when you were resisting, and then did you say you stopped and closed your eyes, or what did you do? You pulled back, or you stopped moving your body? I want to know that moment, if whatever you remember from that.
I just remember I closed my eyes to both stories, but the second story about the universe having me, my eyes were closed and I did feel a peace that went over my body. It just a gentle peace that went over my body. But I'm also going to say that it doesn't last all the time. It doesn't last. This peace comes and goes. And am I okay with it coming and going? And am I going to be mad at myself or criticize myself for not being able to be in peace all the time? But the practice is the interesting part. I think it's magical too.
I think it is magical. And then what you said, I really like and want to remember is, am I enjoying the practice? You use the word game, and games are fun. When I think of a game, I think it's fun. It's interesting. I'm being challenged. I'm playing. I'm playing. It's not so serious, not so heavy. And there is something to accomplish. And with any game, it has a starting point, ending point. There might be little obstacles, little hurdles. Anyways,
Next topic, your topic.
well, my topic is falderal.
Thank you.
And topic is falderal because I was reflecting back on my younger years with you. Well, actually, I was in the bathroom getting ready for our show and doing a little falderal with myself in the mirror, goofy voices. I'm a very silly individual, very silly. You wouldn't know it.
I know it.
You
It just
and you,
sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't. I would like to see more silliness.
yes, and you do know it, and I want to thank you for it. This is a little mother son topic too, but that falderal that we had, really all the way silly, wacky, weird, crazy, fun, kid-like falderal was great. And I felt safe to do that with you. I just happened to be a few years older, but it's still there. And that is an important part.
I love that topic. I love the topic, being light, being fun, not taking any of this shit seriously. letting all of this serious, important energy go. But I want to go back to one of our things last week. We were talking about guilt, and I wanted to touch back, just to circle back really quick. We were talking about guilt and how you said you felt guilty as a son. One of the reasons because you didn't appreciate I used to chop up the vegetables, and then I said I felt guilty as a mother. But one of the things that both of us have done with each other have said, and I told you, when I croak, kick the bucket, breathe my last breath, don't feel guilty about shit. We've had this conversation about after I'm gone. And now I'm saying, don't feel guilty. You're going to feel whatever you feel, but I'm letting you know there is absolutely nothing to feel guilty about what you've said, what you've done, how you behaved. And you gave that you gave that gift to me too. I don't know too many parents, mother and son and daughter, father and son, whatever, that have these conversations that are so open and so direct, especially with the topic of death. I mean, we make jokes about me kicking the bucket. And I just wanted to say that I love that about our relationship. We can talk about anything. Yes, my demise. And there's nothing to feel guilty about. None. There's nothing that you did, nothing that you said, nothing that I did, nothing that I said. Let's move on. Next moment. And death, this whole program that death is a loss. No, death is just a change. It's not a loss.
Death is a change there, and yes, the physical body is gone. It has changed, and I do think it's important to have those conversations. Well, I want to have as many conversations as possible before that, because then the conversation after that is all energy and memories, and the guilt is so. That parent-child relationship for me is so deep and just a lot of time and energy spent with each other, and moments, and fun moments, challenging moments I would have done differently had I known what I know now. There's so much, and there's too much to rehash and to apologize for, and let's move on. I'm going to own what it is, and then move on and really bring it to the moment. Whatever I think I'm feeling guilty for, not appreciating you for taking time to make food for me, cut up the vegetables, make it taste good, all of this. Well, maybe I can appreciate you today.
Thank you. Yesterday is over. Rejoice quickly, recover quickly. I just wanted to say that I like our conversation. And you said you want to have more conversations. Well, then call me more often.
Well, let's not get carried away here. Oh.
Just call me
within reason. Within reason.
And this is no guilt, no shade. You can call me more than once. You can listen. We joke all the time. You're fine with your call limit.
I used to be hooked on you, and now I'm trying to back off a little bit, a lot.
And and let me say this: all of that, trying to control, trying to be hooked, all of that is another story. Let me put your seatbelts on for this, and audience too. We have more people listening and watching. I don't know why, but well, yes, I do know why. Life is meaningless until you are the one giving it meaning. And let me go even deeper. Life is meaningless unless I give it the meaning. And who is the I? What entity is the I? What entity is giving this meaning? I'm so hooked on letting all of this go with my little bouts of this is important. No, it's meaningless. That's my new mantra. All of this is meaningless, and it's very relaxing. This is meaningless. My ego gives it a meaning. My ego gives it a judgment. Meaningless. Let's go.
I'm into meaningless when I feel like that's bringing me closer to peace, and I'm also into meaningful. Every little moment, every little expression. That walking to my car has
Meaningless.
meaningful. Whatever.
Meaningless.
I heard you. And but I do get it. The story, whatever I think about the world is from what I say it is, and then what you just said, and what's the I? This identity. So where am I getting my meaning from? So let's be crystal clear. And yes, not calling you. That's all stories too. As you would say, it's just time. It's just time, or it's not time. And really, I do have things to do. I can't stay on the phone with you all day, every day. There are other things to do. It's really just a practical thing. It's nothing personal.
What?
You did hear me.
I did hear you. I think that was the first. You have things to do.
I've got lots of things to do. You have things to, well, I think you have a couple things to do too. Your hair, what else you have to do? You buy things and you return things.
Tanks. Tanks. I was going to share what one of the things that I do every single day. Every
Please.
day. Speaking contemporaneously, every single day, I watch Judge Judy and I watch Family Feud with Steve Harvey. Now, mind you, they're all reruns, and I've seen, I would say, 80% of them already. But I get in this stage, I forget that I've seen them, and so it's easy to watch them again. But in that order, Judge Judy and Family Feud in the evening, just it is like drinking tea for me. It's so calming and relaxing, and so it's just what I do, and it amuses me and it calms me. I feel like I'm meditating, and that's that. End of story.
I love that. Well, I'll share mine. Mine changes, but I'll share what mine is currently. And it is the 90s show, Beverly Hills 90210. Have you heard of it?
Hold on. I didn't watch it when it was out. But
I didn't either, and I really wasn't allowed to watch that. And it has some very heavy themes and high school themes, but they're heavy, all of them. It's suicide, drugs, parents being shitty parents, money, racism, sex, teen pregnancy. I mean, they're doing all of it. And I don't know if I was ready or even would have liked it at that age. But now it's 90s. It's a show in California. I'm near Beverly Hills, and just that LA thing. And talk about sipping tea. I mean, I just settle right in, and I just love my teen drama. It's very, very pleasant to watch at the end of the long day. Oh yeah, and I'm only on season 1, so it's really good. We've got 10 seasons of this.
that
Hopefully.
is so bad.
So
What a horrible diet.
it's
Oh,
but it's a very well made, at least the first season, really well made, well acted. I mean, it's corny, it's 90s, but it's well written, it's interesting. And I mean, listen, your diet of Family Feud and Judge Judy,
at least I'm laughing for the humor.
and there's humor in Beverly Hills too.
Next topic. Yes, next topic. I have a question. Do you trust strangers, or would you trust strangers? I'll give you an example. Yesterday I was in Walmart, of course, shopping. Thank you, Nathan. Shopping and returning.
I knew it.
and I and I bought 2 pairs of shorts. Did I say I bought some shorts from Walmart? I hope nobody listens to this. Yeah, bought 2 pairs of shorts from Walmart, and of course, I try them on at home. I don't try them on in the dressing room. I just don't do that anymore. No, not me. No, I'm above it. I'm above dressing rooms in Walmart. No,
I'm not above buying shorts, Mom, but I am above putting them on in Walmart.
that's right. I do have my limits. I do have some scruples. I will never go into a Walmart dressing room, but I will buy the shorts. So I tried them on, and of course they're too small. So my point is, anyway, so I was in Walmart yesterday, and then before I left, I had to make a deposit, aka go to the bathroom, aka wee wee. And so I had a basket full of things that I bought, maybe
to
3 or 4.
return.
No, I was leaving. I purchased.
Oh.
I'm returning today. Okay, I've got something. I do have something to do today.
Mhm.
My life is very meaningful. And I had a basket of things that I bought. By the way, I did buy some butter cookies too, which were delicious.
Ooh, yum.
Anywho, and there was this gentleman. He was sitting down, and they do taxes at Walmart. You just make an appointment, and anyway, so there was this couple sitting down having their taxes done, and the gentleman, the husband, was sitting on the outside, and I just wheeled my basket up, and I said, "Can you watch this, please?" Yes, of course. And I've been, when I went to Boston a couple of years ago, I remember asking people to watch my backpack. So my question is, do you just quickly trust strangers? And I'm going to say I do.
Wow, what a good question. I would say I don't quickly. I think there's a moment of reading them, reading the energy, getting a vibe, and then in that moment I decide if they're a stranger or not. And I know, even if I've only known them for a second, well, now I've crossed over into I can trust even someone to take a picture of us holding the camera, getting a really, really quick vibe. No, this person's the one to take the picture, and I do trust them to take a good picture. And ultimately I trust the universe, whether it's a bad picture, good picture, my bag gets stolen or not. That's really where the real trust is.
And that was my point. And it is, I can attach a story to it when is this the truth? When asking a stranger for help or assistance, are people more likely to help? I mean, I know that's a hypothetical, but I believe that yes, when I ask, help me, will you help me, that I'm going to get help.
Yeah, I believe that too. I have a quick one, and it's a Costco story, and this has happened multiple times. There's the self checkout station where you bring your own groceries, you check yourself.
But we've run out of time on this topic.
Boy, I really
No.
I don't know if I could talk any faster.
No, that was a really bad joke. Keep going, please.
So
Costco.
I'm sorry, I'm a little befuddled by your interruption.
Am I becoming odious to you?
You've been odious to me, darling.
Your zingers are the best. The more zingers, the better.
More zingers, the better. So yes, and I was checking out, and they can either, there's people standing by with their scanners that they could check you out, so I don't have to put my things from the basket to the register. I can leave it in the basket and just up really quick. And one time I said, thank you so much for helping, because she scanned all my thing. Thank you. And she said, that's what we're here for. I said, thank you for your help. She said, that's what we're here for. And ever since she said that, and I don't even know if I've seen that same person again who said it, when I am going to the self-check and I see someone standing there with the scanner, I ask for help. And I remind myself of that phrase, that's what they're here for. And that's something you told me too, that people are here to help me, especially if I ask. And all I need to do is ask. And as far as guilt, I don't need to feel guilty. And that is a program of me feeling guilty asking for help, guilty, apologizing. Can you please? No, thank you so much. No, it's just a question.
Without any pathetic energy attached to it.
That's right.
Not that you're pathetic or
Well, I can be in certain moments. I can be pathetic and desperate and over apologetic.
oh,
And it's just
yes,
a question.
definitely can call your mother a little bit more often.
Yes. Well, it's official.
But back to your Costco story, that's the only line I get in, and now they always check me out. That is I say it's Christmas in July. Check me out. Beep 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 beep. Yes, I
Yeah.
look for them. Check this out. Check me out. Beep 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 beep.
And do you
And
flip your product so the barcode is up?
if I remember,
Hmm.
if I remember,
Well, you should try to remember harder.
I will, my son. And thank you again for the direction.
Which was my next topic, which was getting in other people's business.
I love it. Let's go. Yes.
Well, just like how I did get in your business. And that is something I find myself doing every once in a while.
You can't help it.
I really can't help it.
You can't help it. You're used to bossing me around and you like it. You seem to like it.
Listen, if I could boss you around, I would be. What I'm doing is just a mere fraction of what I'd like to do with you. And so, but yes, the fixing,
What?
the bossing, the telling other people, and this is what I want to share on the show is not only coming out of my mouth and getting my nose in people's business and my hands in people's business, but even my thoughts of fixing. And I want to go back to what you've been saying, what we've been saying is just the awareness. Can I help it? I actually don't think I can help it, but I can be aware of it and then go from there. Because I didn't even realize it's in my thoughts too, whether I get in their business or not. I mean, I'm having thoughts about other people and what they can do. I don't need to be doing that in this moment.
Well, let me say this, and this is such a good topic. It's so juicy. It's so meaty. It's got so many elements of the programming. What I've learned after all these years is whenever it is time for me to be rid of a certain habit, behavior, I'll even say an addictive thought, all of it, whenever it's time for me to be rid of it, guess what? It is going to fade away. I don't have to do anything. I may have an intention. Oh, I have an intention. I told you years ago, I asked the universe, this is what I asked. I said, I just don't want to be irritated or annoyed. Can you give me that? For the rest of my life, no irritation and no annoyance, no triggers, no bullets, no, what did we call it?
Charges.
Charges. Being discontent, none of that. Can I just let go of all of that? And what I've learned is all of it will, this life, my life is always evolving, and I evolve, but I'm not evolving because I'm trying to evolve. I'm evolving because it's time. I mean, this life is easier than I ever thought. It's really easy. And the awareness is it. Practice the stories. Oh, look, I'm in the story. I wake up with stories. Okay, I'm aware of it. Do I stop the stories? I just accept where I am, and the evolution comes when it's time.
That's a perfect segue into another topic, and I do think it gets easier and more fun and more playful with time and with practice, like anything. And my next topic is enjoying all of the work and progress and time that I've already put into it, enjoying the fruits of my labor, enjoying it. And if thinking about fruits of my labor, if it's a farming analogy, eating some of the fruit that I've been planting and harvesting and soiling and working on, spending a lot of time working on it. Well, I can still harvest and still farm, and also I can kick back and pick some blueberries and eat them. So, and especially today, as of this moment today, enjoy the work that I've already done. We've also used the word celebrating. There's so much to celebrate. Why not celebrate today? And it doesn't mean anything's done. It just means it's time to celebrate.
You used the word playful. Just be playful in every moment. Celebrate. I remember I was on a Zoom. It was the class I was teaching, and the one woman said, "It's my birthday week," and she said, "I'm celebrating all week." I said, "Celebrate." I said, "Celebrate all month." Somebody said, "Celebrate all month." I celebrate all month. I said, well, "How about celebrating every day?" And then the comment was, "Well, if you celebrate every day, then it loses its its specialness." And I said, "No, it doesn't." But I get what she was saying, that it loses its specialness, but that's another practice to be able to celebrate every single day. I don't care what I've done. If I've sat in the chair and looked at TV, if I just went outside and pulled 3 weeds, whatever I'm doing, can I practice celebrating all of it? You said you were having a fall de roll in the mirror this morning. Just goofy, fun, playful, light comedy, funny. Can we start lightening up? Can we scratch that? Can I even be more light? Yes, I can. So let's go.
Absolutely celebrate. And I do think it's a practice. Celebrating the same goddamn thing every day is a practice. And also, if maybe I don't want to celebrate, then I'll celebrate something else. If I don't want to celebrate whatever my growth, maybe I'll celebrate what the parts of me that are still bothered. Let's celebrate that. Let's I continue to find ways to make it engaging for me. It's like when I talk about the yoga and the breath and all this talk about breathing and breathing and breathing. Sometimes the breathing is not interesting anymore. Sometimes the breathing is, I don't want to focus on breathing. Maybe a focus on the music or focus on nothing at all. Just mixing it up as needed. And I do think there is a magic in celebrating the same, like you said, Family Feud, Judge Judy. Still getting enjoyment out of these shows, even shows you've seen before. I think there's something really good there.
And I want to say, just like, you journal, and you used to journal every day, and then looking back and wow, I journaled every day for 5 years. Wow. Which, okay, now we get to another thing. Is that meaningful, meaningless? It's whatever my ego puts a story to. That's what it's going to be. But now I'm thinking, going back to the celebration, you celebrate it every day, Rebecca, from now until the last breath. Every day you celebrate it, every day. Thank you. I mean, yeah, every day. That's
I think that's a lovely place to wrap up. That's such I want, if I have any goals, I would like that to be my goal too. What more could I want than that?
And by celebrate, I mean a vibration of enjoyment, of being light, laughing. I don't even have to remember it. I'm just know that on that day I did all of that. Laugh, joke, sing, have a conversation with my favorite person in the world.
Yeah, I was so looking forward to chatting with you today, starting off the day. And this was so good. Really, really, really good.
It's really,
Fun
really
too.
good. Yeah, a lot of fun. We were getting funnier and funnier.
Yes. And deep too.
Yes.
Love you, Mom. Love our show.
Are you done?
I'm done. You close it out. We do the title at the end.
Yes, the title at the end, which is Mother and Son Making Sense. Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense, plus more. Subscribe or not. Oh, and this is another thing that this online Twitter, Instagram, comments, Facebook, I am not about it. I listened to an interview with two very Jordan Peterson and Sam Harris. I'm listening to, and they both talked about, and they're very public and global. They both talked about how on Twitter has brought a lot of negativity into their lives.
Oh, you mean being on Twitter or reading, participating?
Reading, commenting.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I'm posting, watch this or a quote, I'm not commenting on somebody else. I'm not reading anybody else's tweets. And in fact, this morning I deleted all because I've made comments, a couple comments on YouTube, and I just deleted all my comments that aren't. I just deleted. I mean, even even comments that are helpful. People, yeah, I'm just being more mindful of all of this. That's why the comments. That's another reason why comments are turned off. I'm not interested in anybody's comments.
Yeah, that's such a good topic. I'd love to bring that to next week because we talked about it last week. I think it's a really good topic, and for me personally, it's a good one as I am posting more and thinking about how I want to use these platforms. How am I spending my time on these platforms, and what's really important, what really has meaning, and what doesn't. And I will say, I'll leave it with this is. What does feel appropriate for me is the goofiness, the silliness, the funny pictures, funny videos. I comment funny reactions to those. That feels clean for me right now. The other things, I would love to talk about it because I think it's a great topic and really relevant. And we're doing this online. So
Yes,
yeah.
I love that too. I love that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea. Thank you. Well, let's just wrap it up.
All right. Number 18.
Number 18, moving on, number 19. Stay out of trouble.
And stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble.